Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 5 ways how Rockstar can improve the money-making system in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's right, so now more than ever, even though Rockstar have added a ton of ways to make money in online, it still seems like it is a daily grind and a daily struggle in order to make a profit. Even with the new additions of the CEO system and stunt races and the new biker stuff, it really does seem like making money on online is still rather difficult. And that's honestly why I do those shark card giveaways so often, is because I know it can be difficult to prep for all this DLC content that's coming out back to back to back, especially with Rockstar doing the unreleased content now, where essentially every week you're having to spend millions of dollars if you want to keep up with all the new content. So the 5 things I'm going to be talking about in this video certainly aren't going to cover everything, but I feel like it is a great starting point for a conversation that needs to be had. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. And if you like any of the ideas that I've talked about in this video, be sure to drop it a like as well. But of course, out of the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. So the first idea that I'm going to propose is allowing us to do the CEO and biker money-making stuff outside of our offices and clubhouses. So let me break this down for you guys right now. Obviously, if you want to start a CEO or a biker mission, you have to do it in the clubhouse, at the computer, or at the laptop. Now, especially for the CEO stuff, this is incredibly inconvenient because there really isn't a timer on how many you can do in a row. As long as you have 2 warehouses, you're never going to be put in a situation where you're going to have to be waiting on kind of a timer to keep going. What slows you down is having to go back to your office from wherever the location you just came from. So essentially, the way the CEO missions work, you buy a number of crates, you deliver the crates to your warehouse, and then you have to go back to your CEO office to start another one. My idea is, number 1, and I've had this idea for a while now, and that is utilize some of the more expensive and useless vehicles in the game in order to act as a mobile office. Now, this would work especially well for the CEO stuff, and that would be the Luxor Deluxe and the Swift Deluxe. Now, I'm not saying to go buy these vehicles now, because I still think they're worthless and they're overpriced. But what if a new feature was added to the Swift and the Luxor Deluxe where they could act as a mobile office for the CEO buying and selling stuff? So instead of just having to go back to your office, you could just have your Swift Deluxe delivered, and then you could just, boom, load up another mission and use the Swift Deluxe to get to the next location where the crates are. So it's a win-win-win. Now, I don't know what vehicle could be used for the biker stuff, considering having a luxury gold helicopter doesn't really fit the theme of bikers, but I'm imagining there could be another vehicle that maybe would work on either Warstock or Southern San Andreas Super Autos that could act as a mobile office also, because, and even more so with the biker stuff, because a lot of the deliveries are going to take you miles away from your biker warehouses, like the drug and the weed and the cocaine and stuff like that, especially if you deliver them to the farthest location, which for me is always in Paleto Bay. You know, 90% of the time it's going to have you out in the middle of nowhere, and then it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes to get back to your warehouse, and you know, that just delays the amount of time that it's going to take you to make the maximum amount of money. So that's idea number 1, creating mobile offices. Idea number 2 would be to just use it on the phone. I mean, there's a SecuroServe app on the phone that really does absolutely nothing. The only point of that SecuroServe app is to show you when you have invites, and honestly, I never really get invites anyway, so I've never used the SecuroServe app once. I always do it through the interaction menu. So to me, I think that's kind of a waste of space, but what wouldn't be a waste of space is if Rockstar used that and allowed us to have like mobile office access right there and been able to start, buy, and sell. We could even make adjustments to our different warehouses, like if we needed to buy more weed or something like that, we could do that mobily instead of having to go to the weed plant, go into the office, and then go into the little laptop in there and make the sale. So that would definitely speed up the efficiency of both those buying and selling missions, and I think that would be really, really cool and obviously a great addition into the game as well. Now, moving on to the second thing, and this one's kind of on a smaller scale, but you'll see that it's not that small of a scale in the video, and that is making daily objectives locked to the in-game lobby only. So one of the reasons I have a problem with daily objective is how obscure they seem to be. Now, the ones I got in this video weren't that bad. It was like, do a contact mission, do like a flight school thing, and, you know, take some bull shark testosterone. The flight school one, kind of iffy. I don't know if I love that one, but some of them are ridiculous. Like, they require you to do the craziest things ever, like complete complete a rally race. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone willing to do a rally race, so that would be quite the challenge right there. If they were all locked to things you could do in the in-game lobby, number one, I think I would do them all the time because that sounds incredibly easy. But number two, you'd have more people competing in them and you'd have more people making money because the daily objectives really do add up. Like I said, they're super easy to ignore because they really aren't, publicly advertised to you. But if you do them and you do the weekly bonus and the monthly bonus, and I think there's even one longer than that. I don't even know if there's a yearly one or not yet, but you can make an absolute ton of money. And just for completing one right now, I ended up getting like $20,000, which was super rewarding. And all I had to do was call in Brucey to get some bull shark testosterone for myself. So like I said, super easy stuff right there. But I do believe the daily objectives need to be fixed as to where they don't require you to go outside of the lobby, because that's going to require you to spend more time in the cloud simulator, which will cut down on your efficiency, which will waste more time for you, and obviously you'll be making less money over more time. So I think that would be a really awesome idea. Let me know how you would think about that in the comment section down below. And if you do daily objectives, would you like to see that added into the game? At the number 3 spot, selling items. I cannot preach this enough. Rockstar, please allow us to sell items in game. I'm talking about everything. So right now, the only thing we can do in game is sell our vehicles. So right now in this garage, I could sell all these vehicles and make millions of dollars, which is great because sometimes vehicles become obsolete because new ones are added into the game. Sometimes our taste changes, like with lowriders. I'm not really interested in those anymore and I'd love to get rid of them. And that's great because Rockstar allows us to sell cars. But what about everything else? What about apartments? What about CEO offices? What about biker clubhouses? What about Pegasus vehicles? What about clothing? We should be able to sell everything in the game that we buy because there needs to be a refund policy. Let's say you're no longer interested in doing the CEO stuff. You could sell your office because sometimes those offices cost $5 million. That's a ton of money. If you could get at least half of that back, that would be awesome. The biker clubhouses, let's say you're not really interested in being a biker anymore. You could sell those. Obviously, there's a lot of clothing that some people don't wear really anymore. So being able to get a refund on those would be nice also. So yeah, just generally allowing us to sell things in the game. I'm not sure why we can only do them to cars, but we can't do them to anything else, especially because all the other stuff is likely the more expensive things in the game, like the Pegasus vehicles, CEO offices, etc. Those are the big expensive items that once we're kind of tired of, I'd love to get a refund on. And I've said that selling items is probably the best way to prep for a DLC, and if Rockstar were to add those features into the game that allowed us to sell other items, I think it could almost be even better. So that would be very, very awesome right there if they did allow us to do that and sell items in the game, creating like a refund marketplace for essentially every store. I know that a lot of you guys would probably love that also. Moving on to number 4, that would be random bonuses. So I think this would be fun if you joined a job or a contact mission, if for, let's just say out of random, it was like quadruple RP or quadruple money. Now, obviously you wouldn't be able to predict when these sort of things are coming. Obviously that's why they would be called random, but I think that would be a lot of fun to just have kind of random miscellaneous bonuses placed on you for doing a job. Not only would that encourage players to do more of the jobs, the missions, the adversary modes, but it would be super fun and also very competitive. Imagine getting into an adversary mode game where it just goes like, quad money. And obviously if you finish in first, you're going to get more money. So imagine how hyper competitive that would be in the moment right there to see who would get the 4 times cash. I mean, that could be so awesome and could create some really awesome moments in game. And obviously in a Grand Theft Auto Online setting that's more competitive, it's going to be more fun. You're going to have more people playing. It's going to be slightly more challenging, which I think is going to be overall really cool. So I like the random bonuses. It kind of reminds me of like a game show where like the contestant picks a question and they get like, a random bonus for just selecting on that one. That could be really, really cool. Again, I'm not sure how Rockstar could fairly implement that into the game, but I still think that would be really, really awesome. And finally, last but not least today, at the number 5 spot, I want to see Rockstar return to the old payout system. So the way the payout system goes right now, it rewards you for taking a long time. Whereas the old payout system, it rewarded you for how quickly you were able to get something done. Do you guys remember back to the days of Rooftop Rumble, No Hey Blanca? You had all the other missions like from Martin Madrazo mixed up with Coke, Diamonds Are for Trevor. All the contact missions that were so great for making money. Well, the reason they were great for making money is because of the old payout system that was basically a fixed system no matter how fast you did them. So you were rewarded for doing something in 2 minutes rather than doing something in 10 minutes. Because the way it works right now, it's based off of your difficulty, the number of players, and then how long it takes you. Basically, what Rockstar was trying to prevent here, and I understand this, is people glitching and just completing the mission in like 5 seconds. But when you do that, you take away the incentive to do the mission effectively. What you're seeing is people getting the objective and then waiting out the 10-minute timer so that they make as much money as possible, which I don't think is fun, and that kind of takes away from the spirit of doing the contact missions. So I wish Rockstar would go back to the old payout system. I think it was so much better, and I really do think it rewarded players for not only being good at the missions, but also for their consistency. If they were to do them over and over and over again, they would likely be rewarded with a very significant and nice payout. So like I said, I think the old payout system is much better than the new one, but as always, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below on what you think of that. Those are my 5 ways in which Rockstar could kind of jumpstart the economy and improve money making in Grand Theft Auto Online. As always, like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the 5 things I've mentioned. Let me know something I didn't in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.